Okay. Ow, ow. Okay.
You okay?
Yes. Okay. I almost broke my screen and my tablet, but I'm okay.
Wow.
Okay. Here we go. The night of time, 7:49 p.m. o'clock in Firestorm's house. Firestorm sighed. She jumped on the bed and, feeling tired from walking the sweet apparatus for hours, she went to the bathroom and to get off the dust and sweats. She got off the shower, got dressed in a t-shirt and shorts. Suddenly, Firestorm had a knock on the door. She went downstairs and opened the door. She saw the pink mane and a yellow shirt in a long button pajamas, as butterflies all around her pajamas. It was Fluttershy. Firestorm was shocked that Fluttershy was there.
Fluttershy, what are you doing here?
Firestorm asked.
Well, I know you know that Angel is not home and I'm scared to sleep alone. 'Cause I sleep with Angel with I'm scared.
Fluttershy said, flashing a cup in her face.
Why didn't you go with the other girls?
Firestorm was curious.
'Cause Twilight is at Canterlot, Pinkie Pie is with Rainbow Dash 'cause they're both in a special party. Rarity is in Manhattan, and Applejack is busy doing her stuff.
I saw that Canterlot is wording wrong, but I'm not gonna even make the grab. Okay, Fluttershy said.
Get the shit out of it.
Firestorm was impressed with what she heard.
Well, okay, Fluttershy, you can stay here for the night to sleep with me. Okay?
Firestorm said.
Oh, thank you, Firestorm.
Fluttershy thanked. Firestorm let Fluttershy in and walked up to the file to her bathroom.
I hope you don't mind, but I don't have guest rooms. But I don't mind letting you sleep on my bed. I'll sleep on my floor, Fluttershy.
Firestorm said.
Oh no, it's okay. That you can sleep on your bed too. I don't mind sleeping with you.
Fluttershy said.
Alright, I'll sleep with you.
Firestorm agreed. Firestorm and Fluttershy went under the covers as Firestorm and Fluttershy faces away from each other. But there was something wrong. They don't feel like sleepy anymore. Continue, damn it!
Firestorm, are you sleeping yet?
Fluttershy asked.
No, why?
Firestorm asked. Hey, what? Oh.
Yeah, dude.
Okay, continue.
Wait. So far, I'm just trying not to freaking freak out here. So keep going.
Yes, keep going, please.
Yep, I'm liking it so far.
Well, I can't sleep. You?
Fluttershy asked. Okay, just continue doing it. I swear, get your fucking water. I don't know.
Oh my god, so contagious.
Fuck.
If you're gonna laugh, mute your mic. Jesus.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay, continue, please. Me neither. That. Okay.
For fuck's sake.
Fuck's sake.
Alright. Me neither.
Firestorm answered.
What do you want to do?
Fluttershy asked.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Firestorm asked. There's so much of these asked.
Well,
Fluttershy turned to look at Firestorm as face to face. Firestorm was looking into Fluttershy's eyes. Then, Fluttershy suddenly began to lean towards her closest human biggest friend. And just then, Fluttershy pressed her lips against Firestorm's, and so their two-winged humans. What? Okay, two-winged humans were in the middle of Firestorm's house, one hypnotized, eyes wide, and the other pressing her lips tenderly against her friend's. Fluttershy broke the kiss for a moment before moving slightly closer, pressing the lips once again around Firestorm's. I don't even know how you say that word. The red orange hair morsel gave no resistance. It slid her mouth open as what? Okay. I'm reading wrong, I swear. Okay. Sliding her mouth open a little as Fluttershy kissed her. Fluttershy's tongue slid gracefully into Firestorm's mouth and blushed as she did so, engaging it into a deep, open mouth kiss. She had admittedly never done this before. It felt so exhilarating. Fluttershy backed away once more. Both of the tongues were poking just out of the mouth, a glittering trail of drool hanging between them. Fluttershy smiled and wiped her mouth. So did Firestorm.
That certainly is nicer than I expected.
She blushed deeply.
I never gotten to feel that before to taste you.
Okay.
That was.
Okay, Firestorm whispered as she blushed deepened. So Firestorm just sat there, unresponsively, still smiling dumbly with her eyes half closed. Fluttershy couldn't help a giggle at the amusing state of her friends. How silly she looked.
Oh, Stormy.
She...
Stop listening!
Okay, wait.
For fuck's sake.
Okay.
Don't be that.
You can do this!
I can do this again. This is the third time I read it.
You can do it.
She stroked on the head and narrowed her eyes flirtatiously and leaned her whole body closer until it was pressed up against Firestorm's, their noses touching.
What have you gotten yourself into now?
She teased and then tilted her head, shutting her eyes as her mouth hung open alluringly before she pressed her lips slowly against Firestorm's again. Suddenly, Fluttershy let out a loud squeak and her face turned red as her eyes shut open. She felt something touching against her private area. She looked down to see Firestorm's hand pressed gently against it.
Firestorm? What are you doing?
She was cut off as Firestorm suddenly began to rump gently. Fluttershy let out a delighted cry of pleasure, not too far off a squeal.
Oh, jeez.
Firestorm?
She tried to resist but found her body going numb, freezing partway through moving as though if it were refusing to let her stop Firestorm. She just sat there, shut her eyes, and enjoyed the blissful sensation of her friend's hand gently rubbing her. Only a sudden thought that sparked in the pink manes allowed her to push Firestorm's hand away. Her mortal friend looked down at her curiously. Fluttershy looked up and brushed up some of her straggling pink hair from her flushed face.
We should...
Who's doing that?
Who's doing that? Somebody has oh, it's Flash Drake.
Oh.
Okay.
We should take our clothes off. It's hot in the room.
What?
Okay.
What happened?
Okay. Firestorm took off her t-shirt and
Continue.
shorts instead of her boxers. Her boxers. Where am I? Oh, boxers. As Fluttershy took off her shirts, bra and bottom pajamas instead of her underwear. The room was relaxing and quiet. Fluttershy looked up to Firestorm's eyes and leaned towards Firestorm and kissed her like a little girl, innocently kissing her friend in the schoolyard a long time since they were little kids. She suddenly felt so embarrassed and shy. She kissed her for a moment before sitting again, as Firestorm pressing herself against Fluttershy. The yellow underwear girl felt her hand pushed away by her friends before Firestorm's hand began to gently rub against her again. Fluttershy couldn't stop a quiet moan from escaping her lips as she let her tongue into Firestorm's mouth. Firestorm slid her tongue out too, engaging Fluttershy in a deep kiss. Fluttershy felt so shy but also really horny. She had never experienced a kiss like this before. She never wanted this moment to end, the satisfying feeling of saliva-coated tongues lovingly caressing over one another. Ugh. Fluttershy hadn't even noticed she was wrapped her hands tightly around her closest friend. She found herself moaning passionately in between mouth movements as Firestorm rubbed her fetlock against Fluttershy's vagina firmly. This felt so amazing. It was like nothing. Shy Pegasus. Okay, shut up for a second, damn it. Fuck. Okay, it was going so well. Okay, let's continue. Whatever.
I'm sorry, I was laughing in the background.
I know. Okay.
I'll go in the other room.
Other room.
I have no idea. Okay.
I'll continue, I'm sorry.
That is the room.
It's alright. Okay. This felt so amazing. It was like nothing the Shy Pegasus had experienced before. So she couldn't understand why she just wanted more. She felt so selfish. She suddenly pushed Firestorm's hand away.
It's not
She stared shyly, suddenly noticing she was actually slightly out of breath.
Oh, I'm so selfish and stupid. It's not like we can do anything else.
She looked to the side shyly and sighed. Fluttershy let out a small chuckle. Fluttershy looked at Firestorm, who had a hint of scheming grin on her face. She used her hand to gesture Fluttershy to lay down.
Why are you?
Fluttershy stared, to be met with only a flirtatious look from Firestorm.
Go on.
The fire human spoke at last, in a soft and playful manner. Fluttershy blushed and lay down. She was little unsure as how conscious Firestorm was. Her eyes were still spirally, so she figured she wasn't awake. Still, she was happy to hear her voice at last, to see she was on board with what they were doing. With her back laid to Firestorm, she could only wait timidly for what she was going to do. She mostly expected Firestorm to stick her snout into her vagina and begin licking her. That would be alright, she thought with a blush, but unconsciously presented her plot to Firestorm as much as she could manage in that position. But to Fluttershy's surprise, she felt Firestorm's hands press ever so delicately against his shoulders. Fluttershy couldn't help innocently looking over her shoulder with a curious. Firestorm was grinning at her seductively. Her eyes looked like they had a lot more emotion in them now, but were still filled with spirals. Firestorm then gently pushed the shy young woman down, not too forcibly, but firmly nonetheless. What the fuck is that word? Fluttershy allowed herself to be pushed. Fluttershy allowed herself to be forced into a laying position with Firestorm above her. The former Firestorm hands rubbed Fluttershy's legs and stomach for a moment, massaging her and causing her to shut her eyes and enjoy the relaxing motions, before Firestorm shifted her hands to either side of Fluttershy. Firestorm pushed herself over Fluttershy, parts of their bodies rubbing together. Fluttershy trembled a little. Firestorm felt her shake and slid herself down over her. The soft contours of her lily-like body caressing perfectly over the shy woman body of the Pegasus.
Shh. There. It's okay.
She whispered seductively in Fluttershy's ear, which only served to make the Pegasus turn from pastel normal color to bright and made it red. She squeaked noticeably as Firestorm kissed Fluttershy's neck. Fluttershy buried her face in her hands. Her face scrunched up just then. Firestorm shifted herself suddenly. Fluttershy felt something strange press against her. Something strange press against her vagina, causing her to jump and squeak loudly. It felt slightly warm and silky smooth, like smoke solidified. She tried to glance in front of her. Fluttershy's gaze shot forward again. Firestorm had extending from in between her legs a large penis.
No way! No way!
Oh wow!
Absolutely.
What? Just what?
I said it was Futa. What do you want me to do?
I don't know. That's terrible.
Sonam,
It's
it out.
sweetie.
you actually got me to laugh.
You're welcome.
Damn accomplishment.
Yay!
God.
Finally laughs.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Well,
Continue. I'm sorry. I just
continue if you can find where
it
I was.
still gets
I'm
me.
safe
I'm
here.
sorry.
Okay, it just everybody started laughing at the same time.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
It was
I'm ready.
it was a larger size and shape of a man's dick. It was 21 inches long, bigger than Big Mac. Just yeah, continue, damn it!
Continue.
Kill me now.
God damn it! Try to not laugh.
Okay.
Well,
I'm taking my deep breaths.
I had to see the oh my for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
My.
There we go.
She stammered nervously in a squeaky voice as Firestorm slowly and gently forward, pressing the thin, flat tip of the penis against Fluttershy's vagina firmly. Though not strongly enough to penetrate, Fluttershy offered no resistance, shutting her eyes and burying her nose in her hands against Firestorm's smooth fur plot around, so that she so that the end of the penis rubbed against teasingly back and forth over Fluttershy's pussy. The shy woman was shaking with anticipation. Getting extremely aroused, she was already leaking with juices from her arousal. Ugh. Then suddenly Firestorm moved in steadily and firmly pressed her dick straight into Fluttershy's pussy. The timid woman cried out with pleasure, gasping loudly. The penis was still pushing against the surface of her tight pussy. Firestorm pushed it increasingly harder and slowly at first. The flat end of the thick penis began to push open her vagina, and suddenly, in one swift motion, it penetrated, shooting right into her pussy as Firestorm thrust forward. Fluttershy cried out loudly, some drops escaping her mouth as she did, tongue hanging out and eyes rolled back. Firestorm moaned with pleasure too. She slowly pulled back, retracting the big, sizable cock, and then thrust back in again slowly. Fluttershy moaned delightfully, shutting her eyes and then burying her blushing face back in her fetlocks. She lay down quietly, only letting out timid gasps of pleasure as she let Firestorm fuck her. Only minutes ago she simply leaned and kissed her friend. She had no idea how things had gotten this far. Me neither. But again, she found herself unable to put a stop to it. Maybe she didn't want to. Firestorm panted pressfully as she pushed in and out. This prosthetic conjured penis came with testicles too, that were so big they pressed in between her back legs. And the magical form extended up to her backside, where it was covering and started into her vagina, connecting her. Wait, fuck. Okay, I got lost. Give me a second.
Okay.
Okay, fuck. Where was I?
Something bad.
Epic fail.
Found it. Connecting her to her pleasure nerves to give her feeling as though it were real. The form of the cock bent and stretched like the skin of a real one, so both Firestorm and Fluttershy could feel every inch of it. Fluttershy continued to moan. She began to gently shift her own body in tune with Firestorm's motions, shifting and reverse, humping against her, feeling the thick, stiff penis pushing smoothly in and out of the shaft inside Fluttershy. I'm sorry, okay? It felt so overwhelmingly amazing to have this thick, warm thing sliding in and out of her. It didn't just feel pleasureful on the surface, where it was squeezing it through her vagina. It felt incredible all the way through, filling her with intense, satisfying pleasure.
Sweet Celestia.
Fluttershy uttered quietly. Firestorm shut her eyes, smiling peacefully as she kept the smooth motions fucking her friend, speeding up by little by little.
Fuck, do I have to read this?
Yes, you have to read that part.
Yes.
I've read worse.
Here we go.
Okay.
Fluttershy panted with pleasure. Firestorm began to as well. Firestorm could feel more warmth building inside her conjured penis, a feeling she knew to imminent ejaculation.
Firestorm.
Fluttershy squeaked.
It feels so good. It's
It was feeling a little strange all of a sudden to Fluttershy. Though she couldn't quite word it, it felt like it was emanating with more and more energy and pleasure every second, like it was somehow getting even more rigid as it slid in and out of her shaft. Firestorm sped up more and more, gasping in quick succession, with the thrust into her friend. Closer, she sped up more and more, and then switched to pushing in fast and perfectly right into Fluttershy as deeply as it could go, with a brief pause between each retraction and thrust. Each one making Fluttershy cry out. Fluttershy suddenly screamed with pleasure. She hadn't even seen it coming, but suddenly she was coming. Thick white cum began to squirt around the edge of her vagina. Firestorm continued to hump her. Firestorm shut her eyes and tensed herself up, pushing hard and fast, speeding up again as much as she could. Faster, 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 faster. And then suddenly... Dude, that's not even in quotes. I don't even know if she has to read it or not. Okay. She pushing one strong, deep and firm thrust, and then retracted hallway as cum erupted from her vagina, traveling quickly through the shaft of her conjured penis. Just as she pushed back and firmly, strongly, cum erupted into Fluttershy. One more retraction and deep thrust, and it spluttered out the sides around the penis. Fluttershy's eyes opened widened, and she went as still as a statue, not moving except for her shaky eyes dilating briefly with every successive hump. Firestorm gave her mouth hanging open, quivering a little, eyes pointed out straight forward. She has never felt anything like this. Firestorm's cum spurting, erupting straight into Fluttershy. She could feel it. She could feel it filling her, filling the very shaft that the thick penis was pushing in and out of, squirting through into her body, filling her up with its sticky warmth. A moment later, she let out a quivered, weak woman, and her eyes. A weak woman? Okay, roll. Her tongue sliding out before she collapsed down onto the floor, stretching her legs out in front of her. Firestorm, who had been partially holding her breath, gasped loudly and began panting as she flopped on top of Fluttershy. With thick trickles of cum still dripping out of Fluttershy, the two lay in a tender position for what it felt like forever. They were both panting, especially Firestorm, Fluttershy breathing slowly into a gentle, quiet pattern, while Firestorm remained deep panting to catch her breath. She felt so empty and weak, but completely satisfied. Her conjured penis slowly dissipated like flames going out, retracting her back into her vagina. She let out another... Fuck! Fuck!
Did you do this for me?
Fuck! Okay, whatever. She let out another satisfied moan. She gently buried her nose in Fluttershy's head and body touched. She's so warm and soft. Fluttershy let out a tight-sounding moan as Firestorm nuzzled her.
And
This year was made!
The end!
Jesus fuck, mates.
Wow, this was awesome.
Jesus fuck.
Basically, kind of a big deal.
Exactly.
yes.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about?
I'm not gonna lie. If it wasn't for the cock thing, this would have been actually arousing.
I bet y'all have a weird boner now.
I have the most awkward boner. Getting
Okay,
attacked on
I
Titan.
read this so many times that it's impossible for me.
Sonam
We're
knows
got a
what I've
boner?
seen.
It's a pistol.
Sonam
Shoot.
knows what I've seen.
Dude, that's just plain creepy.
Don't
Yeah.
even.
Spike, did you got all of that?
Spike, have you
Actually,
This
I
is
have
the
no
magic
idea.
of nature raw there.
Sonam,
No, fuck you.
the fuck have I seen?
did you record the whole thing?
Look at what?
I like this. This was very fun.
Yep.